Hi, how's it going, guys? We're here talking some Penn State football. Penn State closes out the 2021 class strongly with four-star defensive end Devon Townley. He's a guy that's 6'6", listed as 220, but James Franklin said in an interview that he's actually about 250, which is a big difference. That's not just like about 10, 15 pounds, or that's 30 pounds. Now, if that is true, then that means that he should be fine size-wise coming in as a true freshman. He probably won't have to bulk up very much. And I think the main issue with him is what is his technique going to be like because he's only played football for a couple years. Now, when it comes to these type of guys, you have no idea how they're going to pan out because you know they're good athletes, you know they have really good measurables, but you don't know exactly what they're going to be in college because they can't just rely on being athletic anymore and bigger than everybody else. They have to rely on force. No, they have to be athletic and they have to have good technique and football ability. Now, will he be able to accumulate those skills that he needs to play at a high level at the Power Five and the Big Ten? Now, that'll obviously be answered down the road. Hopefully, John Scott, the D line coach, can help him do that. He's a guy that definitely has the measurables. It'd be great to see him turn into like a Etor Gross Matos, who was kind of like him, a very good, measurable guy who maybe was a little bit raw coming onto campus, but then became a pretty high second round pick from what I remember, either an earlier mid second round pick by the Panthers. One of the best defensive linemen in the Big Ten his junior or his sophomore and junior year. And overall, this 2021 class is something to be, I wouldn't say to be really mad about it because it's ranked 21st and we have a lot of high 3 stars. We don't have a bunch of high 4 stars or 5 stars, which is a little bit unfortunate. We only have, I'd say, Landon Tangwall is our, obviously he's the highest rated player. I would say he's our only really true high 4 star. We have a few guys that are our 4 stars. Um, and then we have a lot of 3 stars ranked in like the 400 to 500 range, somewhere around there, 400 to 600 range, which is kind of when you look at that range in the recruits, that typically means that there are some things that scouts like about them, but they would rather go a safer route and maybe take a guy in the top 100 to 200, which means to me that these guys have potential. They just need a few more things to realize their potential. And I feel like that's what Penn State's done with the last couple classes now. In 2020, they had a whole lot of commits, 27 they signed. And I think that overall, a lot of those guys are hit or miss prospects where you have some guys that have some good athletic ability and might have a shot to be really good, or they could be complete duds. And we still have a couple years left in the 2020 class to really find out exactly how good it will be. But I have a feeling this 2021 class is similar in the sense for a lot of the guys, except that it's obviously a smaller class. It's 16 guys instead of 27. So there are some good players. I think Landon Tangwell can compete for starting guard spot right away. I think Lonnie White, who knows, he might play baseball instead of football because he's projected to be a first rounder by some baseball experts. And if he chooses to play football, which I think he will. I think compete for playing time at receiver. I don't think he'll start, but I think he's talented enough that you can put him on the field right away as a true freshman. And this class definitely has some things to like about it. It's obviously disappointing because missing out on Nolan Rucci and Derek Davis, those two guys were considered hard Penn State leans. Like they weren't even really. I would say Derek Davis was kind of interested in Ohio State a little bit, and obviously Rucci had his brother at Wisconsin. But those guys, for the longest time, were considered strong Penn State leans. And then as time went on, it started getting a little cloudy, and then Wisconsin started to really, um, Rucci started to get really excited about Wisconsin, and Davis obviously chose to eventually go to LSU. I'm pretty sure it was LSU anyways. I know he was pretty interested in Penn State and Ohio State for a while. I guess something changed, and I think it was LSU that really uh, made him interested in them. But so, anyways, this 2021 class, don't be too mad about it. Franklin knows that he's got to do better. He said that they've got to do better in recruiting, and overall nationally, it's a lot of teams would love to have the number 21 class in the country, and we expect more, which is exactly what we should expect. But I won't get too unhappy about it, especially because there are some guys in this class that have a lot of potential. All right, well, thank you guys. We are Penn State.